Welcome back, friends. This is Solomon Jagwe. I'm back with another exciting update. So I came across this amazing plugin called Atlax. That's for the Unreal Engine, and it's available for Unreal Engine 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. The demo I'm going to show you today is going to be in 5.3, but this enables you to speed up your lighting in your cinematics and rendering workflow. It's amazing how they've streamlined this. You know how much, some of us, like especially if you're in like an indie filmmaker, how you struggle with that, just setting up lighting and render settings inside of the Unreal Engine. Well, this plugin helps you with all of that, and it's great for product demos, for presentations. So if you have if you're an art director, or if you're in a team setting and you want to like bring like a concept together real quick to showcase how the product might possibly look like, they offer the ability to light the scene yourself, but they also have templates, right? And so I'm going to show you how like for practical usage, how I'm using it. So when I first saw it, I was like, okay, how would I actually use this? And I'm thinking, okay, I need some scenes that I have to be able to test with. And the one that I found was like a Star Wars character. So I'm going to use the Mandalorian character instead of the Unreal Engine 5.3. So you get a sense of how this plugin works, right? It has like amazing dolly system. It's really cool for getting up like really up and quick to render. And so let me walk you through how this works. And it actually does 360-degree renders as well. It's incredible. So let's go to the Unreal Engine and I'll show you how to launch this. So here's plugin inside of my Unreal Engine scene, and this is Mando. He's wondering what's happening to him, but I had this concept in my mind, like, okay, I want to get like the Mandalorian character in a setting where it looks surreal, but he's wondering where he is, right? And this lighting system, I didn't have to really set up this lighting. I just had to click these samples right here. So there's a photo studio tracking light box, and then it has a randomizer. It uses artificial intelligence to set up lighting setups in an amazingly quick way of iteration. So if you want to get just quick ideas of how the Mando, for example, its character is going to look. So I'm thinking, okay, I have like a team and I want to share with them that this idea that I have. I think this plugin is a quick way for you to get people to go from an idea to like a quick render, right? And it has lighting setups over here. So there's lumen and path tracing. So you just toggle back and forth like that, and you can see the difference in the scene right there. So if I go to ray tracing, you can see how like when you balance between ray tracing and lumen. And then let me pause it at around right there, and let me switch to path tracing. So because I have like a fast GPU, you can see how fast this is clearing up. So I'm picking another frame. See how that is moving real quick. So it does path tracing. Sorry, it has path tracing settings, lumen, and ray tracing. And then you're able to render a sequence using this dolly, track, pedestal, roller coaster, and semicircle, and circular. And then when you're ready to set it up, you're able to do real in production, single shot, or sequence. It has a wealth of like different options over here. So the thing that's used to trouble us and setting up the 4K resolution, the frame rate, and all that, they've made it so much easier. This is like an amazing way to get your project started. And so with Mando here, I wanted to see what kind of other settings like. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick another lighting like light box. Look at that, right? And this is path tracing. And if I pick another frame, you can see that. So let's go back to lumen over here. So we have a better like quicker response, and we can even switch to ray tracing, so you see the difference. But as I am going through here, this is in real time, guys. You see the reflection of Mando's hands in his breastplate over here. That is all real time in the Unreal Engine. And look at how he's like looking at his fingers, but you can see the reflection in the helmet. And of course, your character has to have the right shaders already set up for this to work. So for me, I already set this character up. I wanted to see how well it would look by just creating this and just dumping the character in here. But before I show you how I was able to do this, let me show you how to actually get this plugin. So you go to the Atlax website over here on atlax.ai, and then click on get a license over here, and it's going to bring up this window over here. And if you want to buy, so this is I want to be upfront, guys, that they were able to give me a license so I can actually give feedback on how I thought this was going to work and how I would actually use it in a practical situation. So they've given me a discount code, like 50%. So I'll put it in the description of this video. So if you want to try this out for the first month, they'll give you 50% off. So this is the rental. So it's $29 or like $29.50 per month. And if you want like a perpetual license, you can purchase it for $349.50. So again, this is all under once you click on buy. But it's also you must set up an account if you're going to use this, right? So after you buy it, after you choose whichever option you choose, right? After you buy it, they're going to give you send you an email for you to download the installation package itself. And that file is going to look like that, Atlax A installer. And when you double click on it, say yes, and it's going to bring up this window like so. So this window is going to pop up. Put in your email address and your login information because you really need to set up an account, and press agree and then press next. And so depending on the Unreal Engine version that you have, you'll install it. It will give you that options to install. So there's Unreal Engine 5.4 if you want to use that. Maybe not right away because it's still in beta, but I'm using the Unreal Engine 5.3 to showcase this. So after you've installed it, it's going to show up inside of plugins folder in the marketplace subfolder, and it's going to be Atlax over here, right? So once it's successfully installed, go back to Unreal Engine, go to settings, go to plugins over here, and make sure it's enabled. If it's not, make sure this is checked, and then restart your engine so that it can work. Once you've enabled that, it's going to show up, and then you can just press this button up at the top here, and this panel will show up. For me, I've docked mine over to the left hand side so that you can see it all the time over here. And then I have my content browser over on the right hand side on the center of the screen. Okay, so let me do this. Let me actually start from scratch so you can actually see how I was able to set this up. So go to file, new level, and I'm actually going to do an empty level, like 0. There's no light, nothing. Go ahead and create. Let's not save that. All right, so this is purely blank. 0, no light. And let me go ahead and make this maybe 90. Okay, so there's nothing here, nothing. So let's go ahead and add our character. So I'm going to go to my content browser over here. There's Mando. That's the skeletal mesh. Let me just go ahead and drag him over here. And I'm going to go to the details panel over here, and I'm going to put him in the center. And I won't rotate him until I've added the settings. So as you can see, there's no light right now. There's 0 lighting. Okay. Now comes the amazing part of it. So let's go ahead and click on Photo Studio. That's all you need to do. You just need to be on the Studio tab. Click on Photo Studio, and boom. You have a lighting setup with our soft boxes. You have like all these you can actually control all of these, right? So you can move it closer to the character, move it back and forth. You can rotate the lamp itself. So it's amazing. All of this is interactable, and each one has its own controls over here. You have the intensity, temperature, and it's really well done. Okay, so once you're ready, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that there's a target, and let me press the G key so you can actually see it. So on the camera itself, it has a target object right here. So I recommend that you move your character. Like, let's move Mando over here, press W, and we're going to use this to move him down so that he's in the target itself. And let's select this the sample, the 3D sample, just turn it off so we can actually see where Mando is. So the target is right there tracking him. So if you any like photographers out there, aspiring photographers, this is just to help you be able to focus on that particular character. Okay, so now that we have it there, you can actually go to perspective and click on the DSLR, Atlax DSLR over here. And so we have Mando, and we can actually rotate him. Let's see how many. Let's go do E. Let's kick out of the camera over here, and we're going to do 90 degrees. It's about 90 over there. And let's zoom in a little bit more. And actually what I love to do is just change this to like maybe 10. So you get a representation of that. Okay, so when you press the G key, it gets rid of that focus. And then now you can look at the setup right here. If you want, you can go back to the DSLR so you can actually see it as that. Okay, so we have our character, but the way to really see it in action, you need to add some animation to it so that you can actually see how the lighting is like falling on the character. And I'm going to add a new level sequence over here. I'm going to put it in my sequencer. I'm going to call it in Star Wars. Let's call it Demo 2 or Demo 1. Okay. We're going to take Mando. We're going to add him to the timeline over here. And we're actually going to also add that camera. So this Atlax DSLR camera. Put it over here. So now we know we have a camera in there. We can add camera shake to it if we want to. So select Mando over here. And we're going to add animations. I already have some animation that I recorded using my NXN suite. And let's go ahead and add that to this. Let's see, this sequence, I believe, right here. So I'm going to trim it because I know Mando is going to be walking up to like right there. Let's kick out of the camera for a second. Let's see how far he's walking. So he's going to walk until he gets to around here. So let's add like maybe 3000 frames. And let's go to the very end over here where he's looking sad. And let's make that the end point. And so we'll make sure we extend the camera cuts as well. Maybe, yeah. And then the beginning point is when he starts looking around. So maybe we'll do like right there. Just you can use this, or you can use this shortcut right here. So now we make sure we play back. Let me see if it's gonna loop. Play back, and then it's gonna loop again like that. Okay, so now we have our animation set up, but we need to make sure that the head is actually in the focal area of the camera. So let's press the G key again. Click inside the interface, press G key. So there's a target over here. So we're going to move Mando back a little bit. And then I'm going to rotate him and then move again. So we'll rotate him 90 degrees. And we're going to move him back to where the camera is focusing on his head, like right there. All right, so if we test, all right, so now I know that I can select this target over here, and we can move it back and forth, up and down. But if I kick out of this and hold down the Alt key, so we can rotate around our character, and maybe let's change this back to so we can see. All right, so we know the target is over here. Mando is over here. So we need to move Mando to that target area right there. Like so. So let's check again. All right, so now he's in focus. So press the G key. And we know now if we render an animation, Mando is going to be in focus. So when we play back, you can see Mando looking around, looking at things like, oh my goodness, what just happened to me? But look at that, the reflections in the armor, right? So what is really cool, like right there, that's a cool shot that we can test with. We're gonna go and rewind. Make sure we save the scene. So go ahead and save current level as. And we're gonna put it in Star Wars table. It's Mando 1. And we can say save all, just so in case things crash. And then we just open a level again, rather the sequence. And then let's just hide this. And you can always just turn it off completely so it doesn't distract you. Press the G key once they click in the interface. All right. So now that we're here, I can go back to this. Select it all. Okay. All right. Now that I have my animation, I can actually play it back so you can see it. And now we can start testing these other, lighting setups, right? All these are amazing setups that are quick. And when you press one of them, it automatically adds lights all around that you can customize, right? So this is amazing. And then let's go mist. Look at that, right? This is really cool. That will make for a nice thumbnail. So this is what I wanted to show you guys, that this plugin is amazing in getting like set up real quick. And look at this, like if I go back to the lighting tab and I switch to path tracing, look at the quality, guys, right? And if you switch back to lumen, you can also switch back to ray tracing back over here, so you can see the difference between that and lumen. So whichever one that you choose, you can't go wrong. I mean, depending on how fast you want to render your final scene, which again, remember, we have all these settings over here. And when you're ready to render, you can choose the production setting, and then you're able to render a whole sequence out of this. Set the frame rate, set the range, set the size over here, the resolution. If you want, you can go all the way to 8K square, you name it. So if you wanted to do like a reel, like for Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, you're able to do that real quick. So again, as I play back this animation, you can see that's the value of animation, because then you can see how the light is falling on the character. And don't forget to switch back to the one that you want to use over here. So with that ray tracing, you can actually see the reflection over there. Let's move you up more a little bit over here. That is so cool, right? Now, if we go back to the studio, there's this amazing feature over here that is a randomizer. So if you click one time, it automatically creates a new set of lights, like to infinite sum. So like it's just to infinity and beyond. You just keep chasing it, always to create something different. Look at that. And then when you play back the animation, now you can test out to see what kind of light setup you want to use, right? Mando's like, oh my. You can click shoot over here to capture some still shots if you're happy with that. So for example, I'll click shoot. It's going to render a preview if you want. And right now, just it's compiling the shaders. It's doing frames 0 to 1, which means it's just a single frame. It's not going to do like a whole sequence. And once it's done compiling the shaders, so it's rendering 4064. Let's wait for it. And this is like a high quality render that you're going to get out of this. Now, remember this image, this mesh right here. Make sure you turn that off. You can select it in the rendering settings and set it to hidden in the game. So that's samples, 512 samples. Let's see what happens when it gets to 512. Okay. So it's done. Render is finished. So it was able to do like a final render So that's what I'm saying. Remember to turn this off. But you can see how well it was able to do like a final 4K render of that. So let's go ahead and let me show you how to get rid of that. The default render setting is going to be in the cinematics, your project folder and renders, and you're able to find that over here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, this one right here. Let's go to the details panel down here, and we're going to type in REND, and we're going to set this to actor hidden in the game, and then we're going to go ahead and shoot now. Now the 4K took a while. Let's just do like a quick one, like maybe 1920 by 1080. And the lighting that we chose, it's going to do like path tracing over here or ray tracing. So let's do lumen, switch to lumen, and let's shoot one more. And you can see the render is it's much faster to render using lumen. And that took just a few seconds. So we'll go back to that folder and then double click on that. And so that's the lumen render, right? If we go back again and you select a different, if you select path tracing or ray tracing, you're going to get a different result. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rewind and just play back this animation so you can see the character moving. And I think, again, the reason why I'm showing you this practical usage is because I wanted you to see how you could possibly use this plugin. And that is for if you're maybe you're going to shoot a movie and you want to create like ideas of how the lighting of the characters are going to be. And this is a quick way for you to be able to do that. Again, AI randomizer, it's one of these like amazing features inside of Atlax. But the more you play with it, you're going to realize that you're going to get like amazing renders. But look at that, right? That'll make for a nice posture over here. Continue. This can actually, like, you could stay here and keep getting different iterations. But look at that. This is beautiful. So anyway, guys, I was today, the reason why I'm showing you this is I came across this amazing plugin, Atlax, that enables you to really do like amazing render settings and lighting rigs, and you can use lumen, you can use path tracing, you can render all the way to 8K. But that's what I wanted to show you. So let's go to F11 so you can actually see. This is real time, guys. That's what's amazing. So let me do F11 again. Let's just play back. Let's do F11 so you can actually see it. Look at that. So if you want to inspect your characters, if you want to inspect your products, if you have like a vehicle that you want to show off, this is an amazing plugin that you can use for that. But this is this is beautiful. You could stay here and iterate as long as you want. Imagine this didn't take a whole day. It took seriously like minutes for me to be able to click on those buttons and be able to get like different lighting settings and then test it out with the animation to see which one of these looks best. And then when you're happy with it, you go ahead and save the project, and then you have like a scene pretty much ready for you to repurpose and add other characters. So if you wanted like a dialogue piece for like a Mandalorian, you could use this for this kind of setup. It's incredible. And even after you've done the randomization, you can still go ahead and customize the lighting. So let's press F. Let's do the G key, click inside the interface, press the G key, and let's zoom out. So you can actually see the lighting setup itself, right? There's a soft light up at the top. There's a Mando over here. So let's hide this one for a second. And there's Mando, right? And they have like a nice DSLR representation over here that is really cool. So there we go. And the camera you can change the settings of the camera. You're not beholden to that. The same way you would adjust any camera is the same way you do here as well. So make sure that you select the camera up here, and then you can change. Let's go to get rid of that. So right now it's 1000 millimeters. F-stop is 1.222, right? And all that. So this is amazing that they've given you the option to be able to adjust all that. But I think what's really amazing is that the addition of the AI randomizer, and then the ability to be able to still go in and add any lighting. So if, for example, I kick out of this, I'm able to drag another one of these lights, like for example, this one over here, and it's always targeted. Like the light, as you're moving it around, it's actually lighting the character with the target in mind. So if I wanted to add another light over there, like so, and maybe another one over on this side, like that, another panel, like to get like a nice rim light on the helmet over there. You press the G key, and then you can go to the camera again. Look at that. So if I play back the animation, now you can see the effects of those new lights that we've just added. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. So cool. So I can't wait to do like music videos with this. Even like sequences where I need dialogue for my characters. This is gonna be so helpful, and I think I highly recommend it. And don't forget to use that discount code. Click on the link in the description of this video, so you're actually able to get a 50% off the first rental. And let me actually kick out of this camera, and let's do just like 15 maybe, like right there. And let's press play and F11. And look at that. So let me select my camera. Let's rotate around Mando so we can see him in different directions. That is amazing. Sorry, Mando. You look trapped. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Again, I was showing you Atlax, which is available for rental at this particular price. So again, as a disclaimer, I was given a discount code to help you with my viewers, because any time that I come across something that is really amazing, that is useful for like creating like amazing short films, I'm always looking for things like that. So this is one of those things that I came across, and it has amazing features. So they have like a wealth of tutorials on how to go about setting it up. At some point I want to do it another test in the Unreal Engine 5.4, so I can walk you through all of that. But right now I'm using the Unreal Engine 5.3. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much, guys. As always, dare to dream big, never give up on your dreams, and may we continue to use these technologies and that come up on the scene every now and then to tell our stories. Never ever give. Please don't stop creating, guys. There are so many tools that are coming up, and I think this is one. And this is an amazing way of how they're using artificial intelligence. I didn't even think that like this was an option, but it is an option that enables you to create lights in like dynamic lights using artificial intelligence. So for you to want to do like a newscaster or an actor or like an interrogation sequence, I mean, this is an amazing way. And this has like, you can control these. That's why I love it, because you can actually select each element and be able to move it around your target and be able to render a final animation out of it. And they made it so much easier to render the sequences out with the way they have the settings in here. So anyway, I highly recommend it. We had forgotten Mando is over here. Anyway, see you later, guys. I mean, what an amazing time to be alive, right? There was a time when we were struggling with just lighting in the Unreal Engine, and now plugins like Atlax have come on the scene, and it has changed the way we're gonna be telling stories. But anyway, dare to dream big, never give up on your dream. As always, I'm praying for you. Please stay blessed. Bye for now.